want to welcome everybody back into another episode of the Fourth Down Podcast. Back at it with the normal guys, Leek, Dorian, DeAndre, and John. You know,
Sure.
John made it back in there today. How you feeling, brother? We ain't seen you in a little minute.
I've been doing good. You know, happy 2025, and I'm ready to pod.
You a changed man. Yeah, hey, we don't gotta get into that.
You know.
Yeah. So it was a big weekend for like all you WWE fans. It was just Elimination Chamber.
Absolutely.
Like I don't know a lot of the ins and outs, but I know the biggest news coming out of that was that John Cena attacked Cody Rhodes.
Yes, sir.
Travis Scott was posted up too, and like it was mad crazy. So like I want to get into it. DeAndre, Leek, either one of y'all want to take the floor?
Nah, go ahead.
Nah, go ahead. You got it. Cause you.
Nah, I mean, because like I don't know.
How big is this? Like,
it's huge.
I mean, because I ain't gonna lie, it was a lot of things that happened in the show, and like I'll get to that. But as far as just the Cena thing, like this is huge as far as like the WWE goes. Like this, and what is this? 20, 30 years that he's been in the
20 years, yeah.
Probably 20, yeah.
Damn.
These 20 years, Cena's
Year
never.
20.
He's never like been the bad guy. He's never been the heel. So it's like, and it honestly, it was like one of them things that like kind of like at a certain point people just kind of didn't expect. You know what I mean? So it really was like a huge shock to like everybody.
So how is it landing with the fans? Like, are they in favor of it?
It's
like
doing great. I'm not gonna lie.
It's doing what it's supposed to do because like you know like in the WWE's thing like the heel's supposed to have that negative reaction. So like it's getting all that like from the fans like. And there are some people that are like, you know, kind of do like it, but I ain't gonna lie, I feel like it's 50-50, which is still good. It's getting a reaction. Like it's literally something that's like been talked about.
I'm on the side of like liking it. Like I wanted to see like a heel turn, but it being Cena there was kind of crazy. And like for it to be Cena, like everybody knows John Cena being good guy, good guy. John Cena, face of the WWE, like always helping out the good guy. Like when he just helped Cody last year in last WrestleMania, and now you going into WrestleMania as the heel facing off against Cody for the belt. And they talk about he's gonna get a whole run like this, like just heel into his retirement.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. Go ahead, my bad.
I would say like, you know, it's seen his last year and he turned heel, and like I ain't gonna lie. It shocked me. Like, Leek, he texted me. I wasn't even watching it at the time. When I saw that text message, like, my heart dropped. I'm like, I've been a Cena fan since I was 8 years old. Yeah, I'm 27. So I'm like, dang.
He watched the whole.
I've seen him from a kid to a young adult. So I'm like, that, you know, it hit me right in the feels.
Bro, I'm not gonna lie, bro. I don't watch wrestling, but every time I like look at a clip, Cody Rhodes getting done dirty, bro. Like every time I look at a clip,
Travis Scott like really smacked him though.
Bro,
like,
every time, bro. Every time I look at a clip, it's Cody Rhodes getting. He was in some match. He took his jacket off. He had like this big old bruise.
Oh, the hell of a
bro. Like it's always something going on with him.
Yeah, he had. So that was from an injury though in training. I think he was like training working out. He tore his pec,
and he still
wrestled in the Hell in a Cell.
True company man.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so how? Oh, go ahead, Lee. Go ahead.
No, I was just gonna say though, it's just kind of crazy because like a lot of the talks going into that was the fact that like a lot of people were expecting Cody Rhodes to be the one to turn heel.
Yeah,
and like they honestly people would have loved that too for real, like to see Cody Rhodes turn heel. That was
Homelander.
Great. Exactly. He literally fit the script perfectly, but like this was way bigger than what anybody expected.
Where do you rank this? Like as far as like heel turns in WWE? Like I said before we started, I thought Edge was the biggest heel, like, because I hated him.
Then we mentioned Hulk Hogan.
Yeah.
For me, like, I got to see it progress further, but it could be top 5. Like, maybe top 5. Just because of who it is. It involves Cody Rhodes, of course, the American Nightmare. Everybody loves this guy. He's embodiment of action figure, right?
Yeah.
So it's like, he's the guy, and everybody was like, oh, yeah, he's starting to break down his mental. He's going to turn heel. He doesn't. You know, basically spits in The Rock's face. And then it's like the good guy, the face of good guy, being the one to turn his back on the guy he was helping like a year ago. So it's like, it's kind of crazy. And it kind of does kind of hit, like John said, and it feels like, damn, I watched this dude all my life be good. And now he's not.
Can I propose a question? Do you think it's the right timing? Like, should he go out as a heel?
Yes.
Yeah,
I would say
for his career, yeah.
Yeah.
What's the motto? You live long enough to see yourself become a villain.
No, you either die
or live long enough to become a villain.
Yeah. See, I mean, that's where we are with it. I mean,
and like the story, like Cena, he's trying to break Ric Flair's world championship record. So at WrestleMania, if he wins, he'd be a 17-time champion. So him going to the bad side to win, you know.
And it kind of makes sense because of his whole struggles before this when he kept coming back and losing, not winning. And it kind of makes sense for him to turn heel, sell himself to The Rock, and be able to be like, yeah, I'm gonna do this my way now because I used to do this for the company. Now it's not. This is me. Like that. This is the new John Cena.
It's crazy. Yeah, like growing up, right? I don't think I could ever see it. I wasn't always the biggest Cena fan. Like I ain't always root for him, but like for him to be like heel is like, and people booing him, like it's gonna be crazy. Like,
Yeah, this is ridiculous.
I mean, you had mentioned you was a big Edge fan. So you got to be a fan of a heel at the moment, right?
yeah, look, I'm not gonna lie. Like it was a feud between Edge and like Undertaker, and I remember it was like, I think Edge had won the Money in the Bank, and then Mark Henry, for whatever reason, just beat the hell out of Undertaker randomly. Like Mark Henry had just came back, and then like you hear Edge's music come on, he cashed it in, bro. I was sick, bro. Like I was sick, and bro, I remember we was in like elementary school at the time, right? And we was talking about it. You was like, how would it take one spear to beat Undertaker on a regular SmackDown, but at WrestleMania, Edge hit him 3 times and it don't finish him.
And
like,
I mean, because that was at the point where we didn't necessarily understand how it worked. You know what I mean? But I mean, we had always grown up, you know what I mean, paying close attention to wrestling. So, I mean, hopefully it do pull us back in. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to check out tonight based off of what you told me.
Yes.
Like, I'm definitely down to watch.
Crazy championship match going on.
Because growing up for me, the heel guy that I was in favor of was Randy Orton. So I was a Randy Orton guy.
I'm so glad
He was about to bring it. I knew he was going to bring it up.
Because I wanted to bring it up before we got off the topic. He returned back last night.
For real?
Yes, Randy Orton came back last night. So this is why it's just
Bro,
and it's so crazy you bring that up
back.
because Randy Orton was honestly for me it's 1A 1B. Obviously Jeff Hardy's my favorite wrestler.
Oh, he's
But Randy Orton. And
They say every black boy.
so like obviously like that's just a given. But Randy Orton for me is definitely like my second, like definitely my favorite wrestler.
Yeah, it was always Randy Orton and then Rey Mysterio for me.
I like Ray. Yeah, I like Ray. I like Triple H too. I ain't gonna hold Shawn Michaels.
So what's so crazy though? Randy Orton came back, and I ain't gonna lie, he came back in the way that I think you'll like as well. Everybody like. So like, just a quick little backstory. It was these two wrestlers, Kevin Owens and Sami Zayn. They had like a real feud between each other. Like they like best friends for real, growing up in the industry, and like.
I know Kevin Owens. I don't know the other name.
So yeah, so now at this point now, like they were like best friends growing up in the industry or whatever, and like now they like kind of just hate each other. So they had an unsanctioned match last night, which means like pretty much the WWE doesn't hold no accountability for what happens in this match.
Jeez.
So it was pretty much just a street brawl. Like they can just do whatever the hell they want.
Wow.
And it got bad. It got real bad. Like
Oh yeah, and y'all wanted like old WWE.
that. And you talk about old school,
barbed wire chair.
He pulled out
to
a
the
barbed wire chair. He got hit in the face with it. He got slammed on top of it. Like,
Tables.
he got Sami Zayn got put through 2 tables. Like it was.
Kevin Owens was gushing blood from his face.
It was ridiculous, and he
OD.
won, which is insane.
He won.
Sound like them old school ECW days.
Yeah,
Exactly.
like,
WTNA, bro.
Where Randy comes in is after the match, like Kevin had beat up Sami like real bad, like he was damn near like couldn't move. So Kevin was about to dip or whatever, but he came back out, and you know how like back in the day when they got the paddings on the ground,
Yeah.
and when people would come over uncover it, it's the concrete.
Yeah.
So he was ready to do that, and he was ready to hit Sami with a power driver, and that's when Randy Orton's music hit. And the only reason why it hits more. Randy Orton was out of commission for about like almost like
a year.
A year.
Definitely
And
like
Kevin
a
Owens
year
was the
over.
one that did it with a power driver on the concrete. So Randy Orton came back out, put an end to that, and he was whipping his ass. And what he was about to, and he snapped, and he took it back to like 07, like 2009. Randy Orton,
Yeah.
he was
Old
ready to
Randy.
hit him with a punt to the head.
Yeah, them guys, some old school kicks.
And the entire the entire backstage crew arena, all the referees had to come back out there and grab Randy and stop him. And it just watching that shit, I literally felt like a kid again. I was just like, oh my god, like it literally made me
it
feel
definitely
like
gives you
back in the
nostalgia.
day, I was like,
Randy,
like the legend killer is back. Like,
It's crazy.
True.
It's ridiculous.
I wanna kind of like bring it full circle. So like with his heel turn, do you think he's top 5 all time, or like you think he would John Cena, or before this he was already cemented as like a top 5?
You saying like, is he a top 5 wrestler? of all time?
Yeah.
He was already the GOAT to me.
Yeah, I think he was
He
so
got
like,
to be.
So it's like LeBron, like just just patting on right now.
Yeah.
It's
just like just adding to the
He's like
That
just
bad.
adding- Yeah.
Cena definitely got to be a top 5 all time.
Oh yeah.
He's definitely
Definitely,
he's
for
still
sure.
working. Bro, I didn't even know how old he was. Like he's like actually really old, still doing this.
Yeah.
What's he like, 50?
He's like in his
Yeah,
50s, right?
He's like
Yeah.
55.
Yeah.
Almost 55.
That is actually crazy.
like
It's kind of
It's crazy because I had just watched that. There was a documentary on Vince McMahon. I think
yeah.
on Netflix. And I just watched that joint. And it kind of talked about how like different stages of the WWE, who was really like the face. So you know what I mean? It was for a second it was Hulk Hogan, for a second it was The Rock, it was Stone Cold, and then Cena, right? And like I didn't even know, even being a kid, like the Cena that we had always knew wasn't even always the Cena that was there. Like he had switched into that persona of like being a rapper or being after he had already been in the WWE for a few years, right? And I didn't know that. So Y'all should check that out. It's a tough documentary because of Vince McMahon and all his stuff, but it was crazy to see that.
Yeah, because like you said, it definitely gives a lot of it's talking about Vince and all this wild stuff, but it gives a lot of backstory, like as far as like a lot that's going on in WWE.
Yeah.
I might have to watch that.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to lock in. Any last thoughts on WWE before we move on, or we hit everything y'all think?
Most of it.
I think Travis Scott will probably be hitting the ropes real soon.
Travis Scott.
How do y'all? Yeah, hold on. Let me ask. How do y'all feel about that? Like celebrities
we can't
just
skip on
jumping into like wrestling.
I mean,
Like,
there's
y'all,
been what?
y'all like that?
It's
or-
part. It's.
I seen
their
Bad
thing,
Bunny
it's their
have a
MO.
crazy match like a couple years ago.
but like you got like guys like what Logan Paul,
Logan Paul, he's pretty solid.
Travis,
Travis, Bad
Quavo-
Bunny, like he,
Quavo
Bad Bunny, he's one of them ones.
the Ball brothers.
I mean, how do you view like retired MMA guys too? Like, because I feel like if you go from MMA to wrestling, like that's still kind of like a celebrity, even though you have a background in combat sports.
so like
Yeah, to an extent. Yeah.
so
I
could
like
you?
it.
For instance, like Ronda Rousey, right? Like,
True, yeah, that's a good
Runs.
one. That's a good one.
It's cool to me. I just wanted to like for it to work because like usually when you see like a old MMA guy, UFC guy, he usually comes to the forefront and then be there for a little bit and you don't see him again. Like same like with
I mean,
Ronda
Brock's
Rousey.
stuck.
Yeah, he's stuck.
Brock's a little different though,
Yeah, but-
right? Like,
yeah,
yeah.
So real quick though, I will say like as far as like having the celebrity aspect of people like celebrities coming to WWE, I like it, and I feel like as long as they do it the right way, because you gotta think about it like this. You think about like Travis Scott, like he's the biggest rager when it comes to like concert like performances. When
Absolutely.
you bring Travis Scott in, you have to have him as a heel, and look what he did last night.
Yeah.
I mean, look what he did Saturday night. Like you can't bring Travis Scott coming in being on the good guys team. He came in with The Rock, and like I ain't gonna lie, go back and just kind of watch it because that was kind of crazy too in itself. Travis' music hits.
Oh yeah, the entrance.
The entrance was too tough. Like Travis'
Yeah.
music
What did he
hits.
come out to?
It was
Fiend.
Fiend.
Fiend?
So it
Yeah.
was
Of course,
Fiend.
of course, right, yeah.
So it was Fiend. He came out, but then like for a quick second, it did like a little mashup, but like Fiend
The
with
Rock.
with the Rock's old music from back in the
Yeah.
'90s, which was tough.
It was-
and then that's when The
yeah.
Rock came out. So it's like I feel like the celebrity aspect is definitely cool for as long as they use them in the right way.
And I feel like with this heel stuff, I think it's working because apparently on Twitter, Travis Scott got huge backlash for smacking Cody. Like
Yeah.
if the other angle of it, it's like zoomed in. Like he really got
You know, he was full contact.
like
open like,
hand straight to the mouth, hit Cody in his face. And like a lot of people was like, "Oh, Travis shouldn't be out there. He shouldn't be doing that. They need to train him more." I was like, "That's why they did it. Exactly what y'all
And
did.
when- and come to
exactly
find-
your
and
reaction.
then come to find out, apparently The Rock actually told him to do that.
Exactly.
The Rock told him
Like,
like
He still
Straight
say,
up.
I seen that. He still was like, I didn't know he was going to do all
But then he
that.
did, yeah.
But I told him, hey, it's your moment.
if you're gonna go
you know
in,
what I'm saying?
go all in. Yeah.
And he kind of made the moment. To
And that's
be
how
honest.
that
It's
I feel like that lets you know too. Like that's how you know Travis actually really want to do this, and he like
Yeah.
really wants to be a part of it.
I saw like what was it like Speed got like
Oh,
a
yeah.
little minute ago.
Yeah,
He got
Royal
him-
Rumble.
He got 2 appearances already. Yeah.
Really, he was in like the prime bottle, right?
Yeah,
Like,
that was his first time in the
He got
prime bottle.
RKO'd by Randy.
Yeah, I
and
think
he was in the
in.
Rumble.
Yeah,
And the
yeah.
Braun
That was what,
Breaker.
WrestleMania, right? When he got.
Oh, yeah, I saw that.
RKO'd by
Yeah,
Randy.
that was there.
Yeah, it was WrestleMania.
last year.
Man, shout out to them. You know, shout out to the advancement of WWE. I guess I'll gotta start watching it again.
I mean,
Right.
look,
Yeah,
I'm just saying. Hopefully,
sure.
it piques your interest to kind of just check it out. Like,
I mean,
it really
low key,
is-
everybody talking
it really
about it.
does give you the vibes of back in the day, and that's why I feel like I be.
It's an easy watch.
Yeah, like it's really not bad. Like
It's an easy watch.
And it's not like we trying to get you to watch it like how we watch it, but like if it's on, turn it on. Like
Yeah.
just
Like,
look
you
at it
just
a little
happen-
bit. Like
you just happen to be in the crib on a Saturday night and you're not doing nothing. Turn on the pay per view, man. Just check.
All right, y'all hit it. Y'all heard it here first. I'm a lock in.
All right,
I'm a lock
bet,
in.
bet.
That's not the only thing that happened this weekend. Javante Davis had a fight with what's his name, Roach.
Lamar,
Yeah,
Lamar.
Lamar
Roach. The fight ended in a draw. A lot of people didn't like that. Tank's been taking a lot of heat because of the draw. Now they're talking about a rematch. So like, what did y'all think when y'all saw it?
So, all right. So, I'm going to address the elephant in the room, right? The knee, right?
Yeah,
Taking the knee.
yeah.
I do understand from a boxing standpoint, for those who love the sport, that it is against the rules to ask for a timeout in the middle of a fight. But it also is under the discretion of the referee to determine what is a knockdown and what's not one. And if the referee saw it deemable for him to go wipe his face because of whatever products he said was burning his eyes, in my eyes, that's a wardrobe malfunction, right? I get it, technicalities, right? But we don't watch the sport for technicalities. So if we really want Lamont Roach to stand on I beat Tank, then I don't think anyone should fight for that technicality. Now, based off of the boxing aspect of the match, right? I thought the draw was actually the right call. I don't think any boxer between Tank or Roach truly separated themselves at any point in that fight. I think Tank was winning the earlier rounds because while he was throwing less punches, he was landing more. And then Roach came on towards the end, and Roach was tagging him. I'm not going to say he wasn't. Roach was tagging him, right? He was tagging Tank. Yeah. But that's what happens when you come on a round 9, bro. Like, you can't take... You know, before the knee, Tank was already up by 3 points on most scorecards, right? So he was already in the hole. If he had started earlier, he might have beat Tank.
Yeah.
So in my opinion, I'm not the type of guy that's going to say, "Oh, that's technically a knockdown, so he should be losing."
Only thing about that knockdown, like I didn't see it, but I was told that Lamont Roach took a knee too. It was really quick, but he took one too. So
but that was more of those like clinch knees where like Tank put his weight on him and he kind of just buckled.
Yeah, I get that, but it's like it was like the commentators basically said, "Oh, you get to take one, I could take one too." It's like, all right, we know where y'all trying to go.
But I do think that was Tank's. So Tank only had 2 fighters to ever go the distance with him, right? Pitbull Cruz and Lamont Roach. Both times, Coach Calvin wasn't in his corner as his primary coach. Going into the fight, I'm the type of guy, like, I'm a big boxing fan. I'm not going to say I watch, the random Friday ESPN fight. I don't do that. But I do watch all the big ones, right?
Yeah.
And so going into that fight, I do watch all the coverage on YouTube, all the commercials, all of that stuff. And his camp didn't look the same. He did not look the same under his coach that he fought under for this fight. And it's the same coach he fought against Pitbull. Like, in my opinion, the proof is in the pudding right there, right? You switch up your camp, you don't look as good. So he was talking about retiring going into the fight. Like, he was kind of looking past him already. Like, I already got some guys I want to fight. And so Tank he did not come to fight that night.
Let me ask you, as a boxing fan, and me, myself, I'm not somebody that's super into it. Ahead of the fight, what were people saying? Like, this was like a equal matchup, or Tank had the edge? Like, what?
It was like 1,600 to Tank.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
Tank's supposed to get him out of there.
Easy.
It wasn't.
Yeah.
He's supposed to get him out of there.
Yeah, it was a gimme, and all of that's on Tank. And if you look on his Instagram or his Twitter and all that, he owns up to that, right? Like, he said, this is my fault. I shouldn't have did that. I didn't perform well. I brought this on myself, but we gonna run it back. And what you say? Go ahead.
What I gotta say about the whole fight, I'm gonna give Lamont Roach his respect.
100%.
He boxed like hell out there.
Yeah.
And if he wanted to make a statement to the world that he should be where he's at, he did it. Regardless of win, loss, or draw. He was boxing. And like, to me, if I'm Lamont Roach, he doesn't have to take that rematch. To me, I don't think he should.
He
Like,
want the rematch though.
I get it.
I seen him talking about it on
honestly,
Twitter.
Like, he's the one that won it.
Honestly, this might be controversial. I don't care. If I'm Lamont Roach, I'm not boxing Tank right after. I'm going after Shakur that just said something to you.
Well, it might not be right after. I mean, Tank, just talking trash, say we can run it in May, but it might not be right after
I don't
because
think that should be his first
some rumors out there that his camp had already reached out to Lomachenko to see if he would fight again.
Yeah, like
Lomachenko was supposed to be who he was fighting instead of Roach.
I think he should go fight somebody else, get some wins, come back. If Tank wants to fight again, let him box at the weight that he boxed at for Tank, because he came down for this fight.
No. Tank didn't come down.
No, I'm talking about Lamont Roach.
Roach went up. Roach was a featherweight.
Oh well,
Yeah.
let him box.
Roach
at
put
the-
on more weight.
Yeah, let him box at that weight, and then if Tank want to fight again after he got some more wins, they should fight. But I don't think this should be on Lamont to make a statement to be like, all right, I can beat Tank. He don't have to do that.
No, my only pushback with a lot of the discourse behind the fight is that Roach won, right? Like, if you want to say he technically won because of the knockdown, then that's different, right? But I'm talking about off the boxing aspect of
Like,
what
he
we
landed
saw,
more hits
of
back.
what we actually saw
Yeah, he
happen in the
still got
ring.
outboxed. Not
Nobody
fully,
won
but-
that fight. Nobody won that fight. Like, there's no way that I can sit here as a Tank fan. Yes, I'm a homer, right? From Baltimore City. All of us from Baltimore City, right? As a homer, I can't tell you that Tank won that fight. But you can't tell me that Roach won that fight either. Like, in my opinion.
I feel that.
So the only way you can say Roach won is off the technicality of the knee down, because
Yeah.
he said, Products was burning his eyes from when he got his hair done. Now,
I did see that too.
if you think that's a BS excuse, then sure, right? I can't change your mind on that. But if it really was burning his eyes, what was he supposed to do?
So what's this make their records respectively? Like, I know what Tank's something
30-0-1.
Yeah,
30-0-1.
He's 30-0-1, I think. Roach had a tie already.
Yeah.
So I think he was like 25-1-2.
So as a boxer, a tie doesn't mean like you're bad or like you're good. It's just that
Just not perfect.
You just okay.
Yeah, you're just not perfect.
But see, the discourse behind boxing that I don't like also is that everybody gotta have an unblemished record. That is a Floyd thing. That is not. Bro, Ali lost.
Say that's kind of crazy.
Tyson lost. Everybody lost, but Floyd.
Well,
Like,
see, but you gotta realize that was a lot of people's for like expectations for Tank was to be like Floyd and to be that like to damn near honestly get there if not break.
Is that only because he trained him or he?
I mean, he
mentored
came
him?
up under him, yeah, but
that has to do with it, yeah.
but yo, Floyd is 50-0, man. Come on,
That
like,
and then you got like some people got to realize that's probably never gonna be done again.
right? Like, bro, it's a boxing match. You can get caught at any moment by anybody. Like,
I think we should just appreciate that Tank is even this far. Like
you
expected
said the
him.
saying earlier, right?
Like
you live what you die a hero or you live long enough to be the villain.
Yeah.
He's in his villain era.
Exactly.
He's
And,
in
like,
the era where
everybody-
everyone wants him to lose.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think he's gotten this far off that hate, and even taking that draw, it's like
See, I can
still good.
I see why now listening to y'all, I understand why people are upset because like he easily should have won according to y'all. Like, and then the fact that it went A-12 and B that they tied, like it was a draw or whatever, like it's a bad look for him.
I mean, realistically, from a sports standpoint, that is a win for Roach because nobody.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Nobody expected him to even do what he did. So
And I ain't gonna lie, like I feel like because I was talking to a couple people about it, and some people feel like the fact that they gave him the draw is the simple fact that Tank didn't actually go out there and knock him out.
and that's what I seen too earlier, right?
because Tank
He's
knocked
a
him out.
victim of his own success.
Tank didn't win the fight, so it's like, oh, they
And do we really? Should we really judge boxing matches like that though?
No.
That's
I mean,
I
but
don't really like a boxing
when you
match.
have a
I don't feel like you should. No.
Yeah, when you have a knockout artist though, and every time you pay to buy his tickets, you want to see a knockout, and it don't happen. It don't look like he performed well.
But it's a lot.
But that's not how boxing works.
It's a lot of boxing fans that just want to see a good fight, and that's exactly what we got.
Right.
We got a really good.
And they was in there brawling. Neither one of them was playing defense for real. They all was just exchanging blows the whole time. And you know, credit to Lamont. He stood in there. He stood in there better than Ryan. Better than
I thought Ryan was gonna do better than he did. I'm not gonna lie.
I'm a Ryan fan, so there.
That one.
I just don't get how all them guys start talking trash after this fight when Tank already beat all of you, and then Shakur is there, and you know a lot of people say Shakur hasn't earned that big fight yet because everybody he fight is just they subpar opponents.
I
But
still don't think he earned it. I watched his last fight. I ain't gonna lie. To be honest, he probably should have put that dude on the mat. He didn't.
So
go ahead.
who's like, I guess like the biggest dog right now in boxing? It's not Canelo. It's
You
not
talking about overall?
Yeah,
Just
like
no weight class.
no weight
nothing?
class. Like overall, like
It's probably Bud.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
probably
Yeah.
Bud.
I'm not even like a real heavy boxing guy, but I can.
Yeah.
It's probably Bud. Canelo's kind of on his way out.
yeah, I'm a big Canelo.
He just.
I like
cemented
Canelo,
as-
bro.
He's just cemented as a legend at this point.
But I mean, those 140, 135 guys like Haney and
Yeah,
Shakur and Garcia, like they're carrying the sport right now, in my opinion, because outside of Bud and Boots on that 147 level, it's nobody left, right? Fury retired, Wilder's washed, Joshua hasn't fought in years. Like, there's no heavyweights,
I seen
right?
him get knocked out pretty recently, honestly. Like,
Yeah,
what,
his
he
last fight, I think
he got knocked out.
Yeah.
But that's what I'm saying. Like outside of Bud and Boots and 147, it's really all those 135, 40 guys, like Shakur and all of them. So.
Yeah.
Those was bringing the money.
Yeah.
They the only ones really fighting consistently and keep having matches, and they selling out arenas. So a lot of the boxing world is focused around that core group of boxers because they all want to fight each other, and they bring the competitiveness. So it's like everybody likes to watch the social media buzz between them, the fights and all that. Like everybody in that division is just like really good boxers, to be honest.
Yeah, that's really all I know. Like all the guys you named, like those, that's really it. And they all in the same class.
Yeah, they all 135, 140 guys, right? And a lot of them guys saying like, I don't want to go down to 135. I want to stay at 140 because that's more if they're closer to their walk around weight. But I mean, Tank ain't going up. Tank already said I'm not going up. So we about to run into kind of a stalemate in like these big fights because a lot of them guys don't want to go down to fight Tank.
Well, Ryan had to go.
He cut.
Yeah.
He cut, and he had the excuse, oh, there was no rehydration clause, so I felt drained.
He had to cut weight for Haney too.
Yeah, well, yeah, and he still ain't make
Yeah,
weight.
still ain't make weight.
Plus the Roy stuff, but
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
About that.
And it was such like they put. I ain't gonna lie, they put Ryan Garcia through hell to fight Haney though. They drug tested him so many times.
I mean, they make it, but the thing is, they making it seem like Tank looked like how Haney looked versus Garcia. Haney was getting whipped.
Haney-
Whipped.
Haney
Whipped.
was getting-
That left hand was crazy.
He hit the ground
Yeah, for
3
sure.
times. His mom passed out in the stands.
That's,
There is video footage. There is video footage of his mom literally collapsing.
Yeah, no.
So like, yeah, Tank did not bring it. If you want to say he lost due to the technicality of the knockdown, fine. I can't debate you on that because that's the rules of boxing, right? But based off of what we saw in the ring, I thought the draw was right.
And DeAndre, you said you don't think that he should immediately rematch Tank after this either.
No. I think he should go fight somebody else.
Yeah.
He made his statement. It's made. Fight somebody. I hate to put it like that, but it's like you don't gotta prove yourself.
Yeah.
Like,
But if he don't get the Shakur fight, he might as well fight Tank. Ain't nobody else bigger to fight.
Yeah, that is true. But like Shakur want to do it.
Because he not going up to 140 from
Yeah, nah.
what 130.
Who?
I'm saying because he already went
yeah.
up to fight Tank, so he had to go up more to fight Haney and them. So
Yeah,
he only
nah.
can fight Shakur.
I hope that Shakur fight happens. I feel like Lamont could do good about that, but I don't think he should fight Tank instantly or his next fight.
Is it you guys feel like we covered everything with the
I mean,
Tank stuff, or we missed anything?
I gave my opinion on it.
yeah, I mean,
Anything we missed?
nah.
Hey, but
I don't know. I don't know. I feel like from what I seen, because I just give my perspective of it. Like, I ain't gonna lie, I was real heavy and tuned into the Elimination Chamber, so I didn't tune into the fight.
it was one or the other.
Yeah, I didn't tune into the fight until about like 7th round. So like I seen from the 7th round on, and from what I seen at that point, I seen a good ass fight between two guys. And because the knee was in the 8th or 9th, right?
I think it was the 9th.
So I did see that. I saw the whole situation with that. I thought that was kind of like weird.
Yeah, when I was watching it
seen
too, I was like, what the hell?
Live seeing it, it was like,
Yeah, I was like, what the hell's going on?
going on? But
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I said, like I'm not a real big boxing guy. I do watch like big fights and obviously Tank fights. And
Oh yeah.
from what I see, from what I know and what I seen, like that was a good fight. Like
They was acting like he got clipped and he needed a breather. No, that's not what happened.
yeah, no.
Like he backed up from him and then he took a knee and went immediately to his corner for 5 seconds, got a wipe, and came back into the fight. He didn't get water. He didn't sit on the side. Like,
Yeah, it wasn't,
you know what I mean?
It wasn't really no like real long. It was just a quick little, and then he was back.
And I also did remember them saying actually they lost track of the rounds. There was no round card girl. So I was like literally everybody in the house when we was watching it, like Tank and Roach looked up and it was like, oh shit, it's round 12. Like
Yeah.
they didn't even know.
and that's why I just don't understand why anyone can say Roach won outside of the technicality, right? Because it was 2 judges that had 2 ties, and then 1 judge had Tank winning. No judge had Lamont winning
At all.
At all.
Outright, yeah.
So
I don't like that. Like that is called
majority?
draw. Like
Yeah.
like if one of them said Tank should win.
Yeah, I ain't gonna. I was just
kinda
thinking
like-
in a scenario like that, if there's 2 people that said it was a draw, wouldn't that last person who gave a person, wouldn't that be the shouldn't that be who wins?
It sounds like that should be right.
I don't know.
but it's like an overruling type of thing. Like
I get it,
when 2
yeah.
people are both saying one thing and one person saying the other.
If
they
a
just
draw
go
was-
majority,
for it.
yeah. Again, like you said, majority.
Majority
Okay.
draw.
But yeah.
Well, just moving forward, pretty recently LeBron made some comments that he didn't want to be the face of the league or something like that. He said that to Ant because like no matter what you do, the people that play the sport, they'll sit up there and like rip you down. Like, do you feel like, I'm gonna start with you, John, you feel like LeBron was like right, or like Ant should want to be the face of the league? Like,
I think Ant should want to be the face of the league because, it comes with, more primetime games, more money, more coverage.
Yeah, more money.
But
Yeah.
I also see where Ant's coming from. Like, that's a lot of pressure just to get, they're going to build you up just to tear you back down. Like every star got built up just to tear you back down. So I see why you don't want to do that. You just want to hoop, go about your
Yeah.
day, keep it like Kevin Durant, treat it like a job, like a 9 to 5.
But
But I feel as if you want to be great, like LeBron, he took it on like at 17. He wanted to be great. He was the face of the league, and you saw where his career went.
And that's why I feel like it's kind of like crazy that he didn't want it because it's like, yeah, he doesn't want it, but it's like I feel like somebody that thrives off that uses that hate to go out there and win. So and then Ant's doesn't seem like that type of guy. He's just like, yeah, I'm just out here trying to hoop. He's a competitor though.
Yeah,
He's a real competitor, but like somebody who thrives off of the media attention and like listen to what people say
the
should be the face of the league.
The face of the league conversation is an interesting one, though, because historically the face of the league has always been either the most influential guy in growing the sport of basketball in the NBA or literally the best guy in the NBA at the moment. And sometimes they were the same person, right? So, you went from, Magic and Bird to MJ, to Kobe, or to Shaq, then Kobe, then to LeBron, right? And then maybe Steph Curry, if you consider him that last stint with Kevin Durant as his time to be the face of the league. But they all kind of like changed the game. They all kind of grew the game. And some guys don't care to do that, right? Some guys just like, yo, I like basketball and I like to play.
KD,
that's Kevin Durant, right?
Give me KD
but
vibes.
the thing is, KD, that kind of hurts him though, because we all looked at him like, yo, you supposed to be this guy and you don't want to be that guy. So now we trash him every chance we get, regardless. So he might as well have been that guy, right? Like, that's what I'm saying.
I feel like I think like where a lot of guys nowadays don't really want that like thing on that stamp on them is because the fact that like it just like yes obviously the scrutiny but the magnifying glass that is now put over not even just your game but your life. Like, you got to think about being the face of the league. Like you literally not gonna be able to breathe without people knowing where you at, like things you doing. You know what I'm saying? So I don't know. I feel like Ant still is at that point where like. He still wants to be able to go out there, show y'all that he's one of the nicest top guys, but he still wants to go be able to have a little bit of privacy when he just home chilling with his friends, or going out doing regular shit. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I think Ant's a good pick because he's vocal, right? He talks. You know what I mean? Like he's on the. I know. It might talk him out of some opportunities, but he's being himself, right? Like I mean, like if it's not Ant, you gonna pick Wemby? Wemby's like.
I mean, and that's what I was kind of going to follow up with. Is like we kind of stuck at a thing where like people don't think that an international player can be the face.
See, that's not even what I was going personality wise.
Right.
Like, Wemby doesn't give me like he gives like Kawhi. If Kawhi was the face, exactly.
No,
it gives me the same type of vibe.
I don't agree with you.
Kawhi don't talk.
I feel like Wemby doesn't talk.
He do. He do.
Wemby talk.
I think. I feel like it's. I don't know. It's. Then, because you got to think about the NBA as a brand, they want the guy that's obviously more marketable and that's gonna be able to just kind of like, I hate to say it, but like go along with what they want them to.
Shut up and dribble.
Not even like let's not think.
That's actually crazy.
I wouldn't say that.
It's not that far, no, but like even still, like Wemby's not gonna sit there and just do what they tell me. Like he's gonna say like, no, I still have my like this is where I feel like I want to do, but. Ant, I feel like it's gonna push a lot harder on a lot of the things.
Yeah.
And like I said, with that magnifying glass on his life, I'm not saying we know Ant to be doing some wild stuff out there, but we don't know. And like that's the thing. Yeah. He doesn't want us to know.
I'm not gonna lie, he does have a wild situation going on with him.
Yeah.
And so that's what I'm saying. Like,
sure, I forgot all about that.
I'm sure he don't want.
A credit to LeBron. He been a face for 15 years and he ain't never got in trouble one time.
And had no scandal.
That's crazy.
Up. Like that's
because MJ had gambling problems and
allegedly.
And then Kobe with the whole the girl situation.
Colorado,
yeah. So I'm just saying like everyone's kind of had that controversy and Bron hasn't. But
low key Steph hasn't either. If you want to look at it like.
Yeah,
he didn't get good.
But Steph's love is a little different, right? Like, LeBron's was like, oh, this is probably the greatest prospect we ever seen in the history of basketball, maybe even sports, period.
Yeah.
Right? Curry was like, this is the guy we can all relate to, right? Always been the smallest, always been, not underestimated or whatever, never been the first pick on the basketball court, none of that, right?
Yeah.
But he worked so hard, he became the best. Like, that's what made him the face. We could relate to him. But
I agree with that.
Bro, I saw Jimmy Fox say today that if LeBron found the cure to cancer, they'd be asking him why he didn't find the cure to diabetes.
Yeah, bro.
Like literally, like.
So
that's actually a crazy way to think about it. Yeah.
Like I mean, I get it. You know what I mean? So it's not like I don't see where he was coming from because he's had to deal with it for what 20, 30 years or whatever, right? So it's like I get it, bro, but to tell someone not to be the face of the league, given all the accolades and all the sponsorships and all that stuff you had, I think it's crazy. I don't know, bro. But
I mean, it's different though because you talking to somebody who been through it, right? And he's like, yo, it's not easy. Like, if you don't have a heart in being that person, being that face, then don't do it. Like, if you even have a slight slight thought that I do not want to have that kind of attention, then you shouldn't do it. You got to be all in on it. I think that's how I took it, right? It's like you already think you don't want to do that, so don't do it. Don't let them talk you into being that, right? Like
I feel like the face of the league thing is for somebody who can go out there and sell T-shirts. You'd be like, yeah, this is my face, NBA. So it's like they want somebody like that. And Ant obviously stated that's not him at all.
Yeah.
He does not care. Like, I'm not gonna do that. Like they want. I'm not gonna. It kind of sounds bad, but they want company man. Like I'm gonna go out there, hoop, win games, and then go do this commercial for something Old Spice or some shit.
They want
Like-
a guy that's gonna make sure that if the game ends at 8 o'clock, he's gonna be in his hotel room by 9.
Nah, that's not Ant.
On the way
That's
in.
not
And
Ant.
that's
You
not
know,
it. That is not. I'm sorry. He's
Hey.
gonna be out.
You know what's crazy? Like, I don't get why Tatum, like the fans hate Tatum so much, but he could be the face of the league. He's only 27. He got a ring. He plays for the Celtics. He's married to LMA, R&B singer. He's a family man.
I'm a Tatum hater. So.
Like, I just don't.
You know what, John? That's a good point,
I
bro.
just
I don't know why
like
people
the
hate
fans
Tatum
hate
too,
him
bro.
so much.
I can tell you what.
It's
I
because
do
his,
not like
it's
that.
because people feel like his love, well, not love, because he don't get as much love as he should, but his aura is just so forced. Like people just feel
Nah, that's
though-
cat, bro.
People just feel like his every moment that he has is just so forced. That's why people don't like it.
It is, Rashad. Come on.
Hey, look. I'm just saying though, like he's a great player.
You a Sixers fan?
I know. It pains me to say this, bro. It pains me, but he has a ring, bro. He what,
Sixers.
conference finals. Like, come on, bro. Like,
Yeah, but that's
like
not
what
it,
people
bro.
hate on
You gotta
his
connect.
game, bro.
You
Like,
gotta
Nah,
connect
what's up?
with the casual fan,
If
not
he
the
Plays for
football.
Boston. Like, that's one of the biggest
I'm
NBA teams, and it's still the disconnect is still there. That's like crazy. It's like part of me is like he should leave the Celtics and go to a different team. Maybe that will help out.
That's not gonna help.
But like,
It's,
But even
it's him.
but
It's him.
but even his time with the Celtics, people would debate that JB was better than him.
when people say that, I just
Yeah,
I
no,
can't.
but I'm just saying though, right?
I'm a
like
believer.
no one's ever
I'm
no
not-
one's ever thought that about a face of the league that somebody on their
Their
team
team.
is better than them.
I'm
Yeah.
sorry to come back to it. I'm gonna stand on the JB thing.
You think so?
I'm a Golden
Nah.
State fan. The only person giving us buckets was JB.
JB can't even
JB
dribble
not better
left,
than
bro.
Tatum.
Yeah.
Only person
He
giving us
can't
buckets.
dribble left.
Look at those games. Go back and watch those finals. I'm
Alright,
standing on that.
No, he earned
Only
his
person
he,
giving
he
us
earned
buckets.
it. Earned his
Yeah,
final
I mean,
MVP.
yeah.
But he ain't better than Tatum.
Iguodala won a
They're
Finals
not.
MVP, but
Hey, he did his job to get that Finals MVP. Can't lie. He won.
Yeah, he held LeBron at 30 points.
Yeah, that's a small number, man.
Hey man,
Hey, shout out to the Lakers though. They number 2 seed, but if you look around the league, like some of the league's biggest names are out right now due to injury. Wemby's out, DeJounte Murray's out.
I don't think these are
Embiid's out.
impactful guys though.
Wemby.
I don't think he was gonna make a run in the playoffs.
Joel Embiid's out.
Thank you.
I don't think that's an impactful name
No,
either.
I just wanted him to say.
Yeah, go ahead, get your MB
Look,
take
I
off, man. Go ahead.
look. If anybody doesn't know, yes, Embiid's hurt again, but like, it's to the point where like the Sixers can like, if he can't perform, they'll force him to medically retire.
He retired.
yeah.
So then they won't
So they can get that money back.
have to pay out the rest of his contract, which they just signed him to an extension for the next 5 years, I think $300 million or whatever, right? So that'd be good for the team. And then also there was a report that came out that he went to Josh Harris, the team's owner, not the manager, to talk to them about how the treatment has been for his knee. He didn't like it. He feels like he needs surgery. The team doesn't think he needs surgery, right?
needs surgery.
It's like been back and forth. But see, the thing is, like, there's no surgery left that will like fix whatever's wrong with it.
Yeah, no.
He's gonna have to do some experimental stuff. Like he's talking about going to Germany and do what Kobe did. You see what I'm saying? Like, so it's like there's nothing left.
Kobe had no juice after those surgeries in Germany though.
But mentally he thinks that, all right, I do this, I can get back right. So y'all think he should retire or like?
yeah, he
Yeah.
should retire.
I think so.
Probably.
I think it's happened to me.
So even if he
unless you're gonna play some vet men type of like salary, like no one's buying into that, right? He's gonna demand a true superstar level salary if he were to get the opportunity to play for someone else, and no one's buying into that. There's nothing there that makes me enticed to get him.
Bro, fuck the knee. The nigga has Bell palsy. I think that's
he did. It's over with. Yeah,
It just went away.
yeah. Like it's like a couple month type. His face not paralyzed no more.
You sure?
Yes, bro. Yeah.
All right. But no, I mean, I do think like this is kind of ridiculous. Like, Embiid kind of might have to hang it up, man.
So even if he comes back at like 60, 70%, y'all think that that's not even
I mean, 60,
because he doesn't
70%.
rely on athleticism. He relies on he's a mid-range guy, right? So like that's not something that will leave him. Like he's not gonna lose the
So
shoe.
what I would ask you then is, what is your pitch as Embiid on how you can help my team? Because he's not going to a bum team. He's not going to the Nets, right?
So like,
Getting
getting rid of him.
I'm saying like as another team, what are you selling to me on why I should to bring you on?
Well, I mean, he's an immediate upgrade over 80% of the centers in the league.
Evidently,
How many
not.
games?
Well, yeah.
Evidently.
I can't.
Getting him on the court.
Yeah, I mean, but when he's on the court, he's top 5 player in the league,
Yeah, I get that.
right? So it's just, and a lot of these injuries aren't even his fault. You see what I'm saying? It's
not.
like
It's
freak luck.
It's not your fault.
You know what I mean? Like
But
you
it's the
can't
truth.
blame a guy for getting hurt, right?
Yeah.
So it's
Let me ask you this
This
question.
might just not be his
I'm a-
profession.
I'm gonna ask you this question. You're a Sixers fan,
yes, sir.
right? Do you want Embiid back? Like, do you want him to be back and be able to run with the team?
If it's at like 80%, I'm fine with that. You see what I'm saying? Like if it's this version of him, get him out
I
of here.
feel like you're settling when you say that.
because 80% is still better than majority of the center. The only center he's not gonna be better than is Jokic. Maybe
And Cat.
Anthony Davis.
and AD's not a center.
He's playing. He's gonna play center.
He's not a
I mean, how
center.
many true centers are in the NBA?
You got like
There's like
you got
three.
Brooke Lopez, you got Alex Lynn.
Yo, Sengun, he pretty nice.
You just named a bench player, bro.
Bro, every
Jonas Valanciunas.
every traditional power forward now plays center, bro. Like, there's no true centers that we care about.
Even still though, because he's gonna have the size and matchup advantage most nights. You see what I'm saying? So it's like
But he can't run down the court.
that's fine. Like he's not running the point. That's fine. Just
not
let the
fine.
offense set up and then he comes back in. You know what I mean? Like
Now you're taking about 2.5 seconds away from the team.
look. All I'm saying is
But it's-
just look at him offensively, right? Like offensively when he's at his best, one of the most dominant players in the league.
Easy 30.
Let me ask you this right.
Exactly.
So let me ask you this right now, though. At that 80% coming back, are you still saying that Embiid is the face of this team? Like
No.
You gotta switch over to Maxey.
It's Maxey, right? But Maxey has proven that he can't carry a team by himself yet. That's why That's why I still want.
said that,
So
bro.
now-
That's why I still want Embiid around, right? So that
But if
Glad
it-
he
See,
said that.
That's why George Paul's supposed to help.
I argued with my mans the other day and said, I'm like, yo, Maxey can't do it.
he can't.
I
He
said
can't.
I don't like Maxey as a number one. He needs
Not yet.
some-
Not
I don't
yet.
know. I don't
Not
think
yet.
he's gonna get there.
I mean, Maxey's on the level of like De'Aaron Fox and them, where it's like he's a great point guard,
Yeah,
great
that's right.
scorer, but he ain't carrying no team.
Yeah, I gave him his props.
But you don't think that they're comparable players?
I think Maxey's way better than Fox right now.
Oh,
I think they in the same tier, bro.
I think they're
time out.
I'm not gonna
You think
lie.
Max
I can't-
Max is better than De'Aaron Fox?
Yes.
I mean, he might be
Yeah.
better. He might be
I'm a
better,
degenerate
but
gambler, so I see Maxey give me
no.
my overs.
no. I feel you. I
Consistency.
feel you on that. He is a better scorer than De'Aaron Fox, but I'm putting.
And then he's a
I'm-
better defender, and he passes the ball better.
I don't
I'm
know
like, I
about
don't
that.
Okay, so
Tyrese Maxey is
I don't
not a
know
good
about that.
defender.
Better
So if you had
defender.
a
I don't
number,
know
if you
about
had to
that.
take,
Sixers fan.
if you
Yeah,
had
he
to
is.
take one of them as your number one, who you taking?
I'm taking Maxey over Fox.
You taking Maxey over Fox?
Yes,
Yeah.
but I'm putting them in the same bucket of
And-
type of player, of type of superstar in the NBA. That's what I'm saying.
I think
There's
Maxey-
I get
levels
that.
to that.
Yeah,
I think Maxey can be a number one. I think he can be.
I do too, but
bro.
I just don't think right now.
A
Like,
number ones are like Steph Curry, like Damian Lillard. He's not on those level of players.
I think he can
Yes.
get to the Lillard. I
Yes.
think he can get to Lillard.
he can get there.
to Lillard.
yeah.
No, I think
I think he can.
I think he can get to like Donovan Mitchell. You know what I'm saying? Like, and
What?
Donovan Mitchell's pretty
Oh my
good, bro.
God.
Donovan Mitchell's the
We
number
talking
one
about
seed
Tyrese
right
Maxey.
now.
Yes, bro. Like, what's the?
You think Tyrese Maxey can be on Donovan Mitchell's level?
He can get there. Do y'all watch Sixers games?
Yes, I watched Maxey play. Yes.
Maxey goes crazy,
Yes,
bro.
Ma-
does.
Maxey-
He does.
He
He's
does.
a bucket. He's
he
a
drops
bucket.
a lot of 30, 40-point games, and he
And throw some
loses the
assists in there,
same
too.
game.
That's why I said not
So
yet.
that's why I
Maxey's
put-
only like 22, bro.
That's why I put him on. Yeah, I know. That's why I put him in the same bucket as that second tier of those De'Aaron Foxes, Jalen Brunsons, of guys who are very good at their position.
Honestly,
but they're not carrying no team.
That's the guy that I kind of look at him.
Jalen Brunson.
Yeah, but
Brunson.
honestly, I
That's a good
still.
comparison.
I think Jalen Brunson could
still
carry a
think
team more
Jalen
than
Brunson is
Maxey.
better
Jalen Brunson got.
I agree. I agree. I
got the
agree.
leadership.
Yeah.
Nah, bro.
But so one thing I want to
I'm
ask you, like, yo,
taking
I'm gonna be so real with you, yo. If you think Maxey is the guy, why do you still want Embiid?
Well, because Maxey plays better when Embiid is on the floor. And even if Embiid is at 10%, for whatever reason, teams are going to sell out to stop Embiid, even if he's not making shots. And this lets Maxey grow as a playmaker, as the number one option on the scouting report, right? Like last year when Embiid was out, Maxey was seeing all types of coverages, and he melted down. He folded. Then you look at this year.
So how can he be a one?
That's
No,
what I was
listen,
about to say.
listen. His growth from last year to this year, he's seeing those coverages again because Embiid's been out, and now he's handling it better. Now he's a better playmaker. He's not a great defender,
Y'all
but
like the third worst team in the East.
okay, that's not all on him, bro.
Either one, they should be in the
Bro,
playoffs.
I keep telling you,
There's
not
mad money
yet.
going- there's
I
mad
keep
money
saying
going
he's
to
not
Embiid.
there yet, but
When? What? 5 years from now?
bro, he's only 22, bro. Like
I know that.
Donovan Mitchell wasn't the guy in Utah,
Yes, he was.
Yes,
He was.
bro. Come
He
on,
was.
Donovan
Yes.
Mitchell. Okay, well, okay. Actually, you know what? You're right. I had to think back. Yeah, you're right. Yeah, I had to think back. You're right.
You had to be
Right.
real on
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
Carrying Rudy Gobert.
Yeah.
That's not hard to do. Yeah, but look. Anyways, look. I'm just saying that Maxey is ascending towards a one. He's not one status
I mean,
yet.
I'm not
He's
gonna-
a one by default right
Right,
now because Embiid's out.
Right.
Now let me get back to the my Embiid thing though. You saying he's better with Embiid on the court, and you saying the reasons why because of what the teams how teams still playing. You feel as though after all the things you just told us with Embiid is going on now and what the possibilities he might have to do to get back on the court next year or in 2 years, you think the teams are still going to play him that way when he's back on the court with Maxey now?
I don't know. Teams are weird. I mean, I see what you're saying,
you
and
know,
they shouldn't.
yeah, like-
they shouldn't. But like, I don't know. We've seen crazier things, right? Like it's they're giving him the respect because he won an MVP, right? Like they give him the. I guess I don't know.
Did he win an MVP?
He sure did. Should have won two, but
Well, okay.
he got hurt, so
Give him that.
Jokic had to give it to Jokic. Everybody else was hurt, so
Oh, that's how I go.
yeah,
Jokic just not the best player in the NBA.
he is now. Yeah, but
He's
when
been for a while.
when he won that, what is it, the first one or the second one, Embiid got hurt, and bro, literally last year Embiid averaged a point a minute. That's insane, bro. he averaged a point a minute. That's Wilt numbers, bro. Like, and y'all go sit,
Yeah,
bro. And then you said, I want to get into this too, bro. You
What'd I
said that Embiid's career was a disappointment.
Disappointment.
That's a reach.
It's a
Because he-
failure.
That's a reach.
No,
Because-
hear me out,
because-
hear me out. Let me
No,
tell you
go ahead.
why, and then you rebuttal. Let me
Yeah,
tell you
go
why I
ahead.
said that. So they tanked for almost 3 seasons in a row, and they ended up with Markelle Fultz, Embiid, and Ben Simmons.
Okay.
All 3 of them are L's, bro. All 3 of them are L's. Now look, all right, Embiid, yes, he can put up 30-point games, huge stat lines, right? 30 and 20, all that. Unstoppable. Nobody can guard Embiid, literally, no one. Right? Jokic can't even guard him. They kind of just go back and forth, even though he hasn't played in Denver in what, like 4 or 5 years?
Yeah, like 2018.
Yeah, he ducking smoke, whatever.
Damn.
But look, what I'm saying is, like, if you tank for that many seasons and you miss on all 3 of them guys, and it's a miss to me because he never got to the conference finals one time in a LeBron-less East. There's no one in the East but the Celtics, bro. You telling me the Cavs are that much better? You telling me Donovan Mitchell can drag the Cavs to the 2nd seed and win a playoff game, but Embiid can't? Like, that's crazy to me. That's why I think he's a failure, because there are players that are lesser than him that are doing more than him in the NBA.
That's a valid point. I hear the argument for not even making it out of the second round, right?
Mhm.
Prior to Embiid, Fultz, Ben Simmons, Sixers were irrelevant, right? It's thanks to Embiid people even talk about the Sixers, right?
I would hope so. Yeah.
He made the franchise relevant again, right? He won an MVP, right? Numerous All-Stars. All-Stars really don't mean
That's
anything.
a fatigue MVP in my opinion.
Okay.
Nobody got 3 in a row since Jordan.
Okay, but he still has it. It's not gonna say fatigue next to it on the resume. It's still gonna say MVP, right?
Yeah.
He's got first team selection, second team, all defense, right? Scoring titles 2 years in a row as a center, right? Like, so for us to just judge him on not even making it out the second round, yes, I think that's fair, but like, he's got the same amount of rings as like some of these other guys. Russell Westbrook, James Harden, right? Like, these guys have decorated careers, but they have the same amount of rings Joel got. You see what I'm saying? Like, Joel has had a great career at the position he's been at.
My point is, he's a better player than them, and he has the same success as them. That's my point.
Okay, but then you gotta contextualize it. Look at what he has around him versus what those guys have.
Joel Embiid had James Harden.
Okay, right, but what did James Harden
Jimmy
do in that
Butler.
series against
Joel Embiid had
the Celtics?
He had
2
Maxey,
good games.
he
Stuck
had
it up.
Maxey,
Okay.
Jimmy Butler, Paul George, and James Harden.
Okay,
and never got out of the second
Okay, let's
round.
break it down. When we had Jimmy Butler, we absolutely should have beat the Raptors, but it took a fluke Kawhi shot to get us out of there. Okay, cool. James Harden stunk it up the majority of the Celtics series. He won us 2 games.
2 games.
He won 2 games
He won
out of a
50% the
7-game series.
He won 50%
So
of
we
the
can't get the
series.
other 2, Embiid?
Well, the series went to 7. Why? When you need your Robin to put up more than
My
8
30
points.
and 20. My 30 and 20 guy can't get us 2 playoff games.
Embiid won y'all 2 games.
Sorry, I'm not taking James Harden.
Okay. I said James.
Because
I broke down
carried
Jimmy.
the team when Embiid wasn't there. He
Okay,
was giving
okay.
30, 40 a night.
But then he gets to that series and then he forgets how to shoot, bro. Like,
I mean, when you focus on Joel Embiid the whole game, you don't really get a chance to shoot.
bro. And then I think we're just gonna gloss over Tobias having 2 shots the entire game. You're supposed to be the number 3 option on the team. Anyways,
Tobias Harris.
we had Ben Simmons in the Hawks series who
Man, that was
never
terrible.
he
I
didn't want to
can't put
dunk
that-
over Trae Young, but
That was
Joel was
terrible.
playing on half a meniscus. And again, Joel and Seth Curry were the only 2 people that scored in the second half of one of the games against the Hawks. But somehow that's Embiid's fault, right?
I mean, heavy is the head that wear the crown.
half a knee, and he's the only one scoring in the second half, bro. Right, but that's his fault. Ben Simmons is scared to initiate the offense, and that's his job. But that's Joel's fault, right? Who else did I miss? Paul George, George Paul,
George Paul.
nothing. He didn't do nothing this year.
So
Woke up the bully.
before you move off of it, I actually wanted to ask you, like, does it piss you off that y'all paid him all that money?
I like Paul George, so it didn't.
Put that aside.
I'm a Paul George fan. I thought it was a great move.
Playoff P.
Put that
I thought it was a great move.
Put that aside.
You know, I thought
What
it was a
you've
good
seen-
fit.
From what you've seen with your eyes, hey, where you sit now, right
No,
now?
it's an L.
It's only year 1 of a 5-year deal, right? So,
5 years.
well, 4-year, it's a max.
They
Four,
signed a
four,
nigga for
four.
some years. Damn.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It was a max.
good contract. Like
I'm not really worried about P, right?
Should be.
He put down the podcast and he's been averaging 20 cents. So
I think you need to start pushing P to another team.
I'm not gonna lie. I never liked Paul George.
Whoa, don't do that.
Nah.
yeah,
You
Nah,
you
don't-
lost me there.
I never
Paul
liked
George
Paul
was-
George.
Paul George
Patience
was
days.
him at one point in time.
Hey, let me ask real
Okay,
quick.
if
Oh,
you
you're
Even
right.
OKC, like he was still kind of, he was MVP contention.
Y'all think Tatum's better than Prime George? I put it in the chat the other
Yeah.
day.
I think Jason Tatum's better than prime Paul George.
Yeah.
yes,
So you basically
I don't
talking
like
about,
Jason
you
Tatum,
talking about
honestly.
Indiana Paul George, right?
Yeah.
Well, you could go. He was nice at
Before
OKC
the leg
too.
injury,
No.
he was one of the ones.
Yeah, before they snapped. Yeah.
He'd give Braun 30 and
Yeah,
stop,
he was taking
stop.
the Miami Heat.
Like, come on.
he was
He
taking
took
the
him to
Heat. It
seven.
was the 7.
Took him to 7 games. Come on, no.
I don't
Right.
think.
I mean, Tatum did too, though.
but yeah,
not
he always had a
Braun.
team- he
It,
always
it
had a
wasn't.
team.
It wasn't the Heat. It wasn't the Heat. It was the
Tatum
Cavs.
did with Bron his
Not
rookie year.
Braun's
It was the
Miami.
Cavs.
It was with the Cavs.
it was Cavs.
Well, Tatum won in the league when LeBron was on the Heat.
Kyrie and Love. I mean,
The Miami Heat, the Braun Miami Heat versus. Come on now. Like,
no. I'm just saying that the Cavs ain't no slouch either, and Tatum did it younger, right?
no.
He had a better team.
I just don't think you can compare that. Me personally, I feel like
What has PG done that Tatum hasn't done? Or you know what I mean? Like if we're looking at this, like it's like how we're looking at it.
be a top
Well-
two-way player.
Nah, Tatum. I think Tatum played better defense than Paul George do.
I can't give you that one.
No.
That's
I
think
can't
Tatum
I
played
can't give you
better.
that one.
I haven't seen, especially in the Indiana days when he was more of a guard than he was a forward. Like he was a 2 guard, right? Like Tatum can match up on 4s and 5s, man, on the switches. I just didn't see Paul George switching on 4s and 5s. So
Paul George led the league in steals when he was in OKC.
right, but I'm saying he didn't switch on 4s and 5s. And Tatum can. He can play. He can guard 1 through 5.
I mean, he plays the 4 most.
Yeah, but he's not a 4 though, right? The same thing you said about Anthony
Paul George,
Davis.
he played.
Yeah.
Paul George always
Yeah.
played the 2 and the 3.
Mhm.
Tatum was always 3 to 4. So like,
But if we talking about the defensive edge, right? I'm giving it to the guy that can guard all 5 positions.
I don't like Paul George.
Tatum
If like
tall.
if it,
Isn't Tatum taller than Paul George?
oh yeah, he's 6'10".
I mean,
That's
not my
that
fault.
that has to help though. Like,
All right. Real quick points. Last points before we wrap it up.
Mm.
Anybody else got any thing that they want to add before we get up out of here?
Who y'all got for MVP? SGA or Joker?
I want to see SGA.
I think SGA is gonna get a fatigue
wanna
MVP, right? Like
You said
I think
I'm not-
because they don't want
he was out there last year and almost won.
Jokic might win it again. I don't
He
know.
was there last year. He was giving Jokic a run.
back to
last
back
year.
number 1 season in the West. You
Yeah,
think that's you
that
think
he's
that's-
he's
Hey,
leading
look,
the
bro.
West right now.
I'm just listening to the streets.
All right.
You know what I'm saying? I'm
Do
just
y'all-
listening to
do
the
y'all-
streets.
You know the streets be talking
Yeah.
a lot.
Got the pulse.
who do y'all think should be considered though? That's not them two.
A sneaky person, LeBron. Like he's.
I was about to say
I
that.
was saying like I put a little bet in. I was like he might win MVP. He's number 2 in the West.
they
If
never gonna give it to him. They never gonna give
You
him
never
MVP.
never know.
They already wrote him out of their heads. Like they don't think that he's the same level. But I didn't see any drop off in LeBron yet.
Okay, outside of them three, is there anybody else we missing?
Giannis, but
Donovan Mitchell?
nah,
No.
his team too good.
It probably would be. It probably would be them four. I don't know about
Not Brunson, not nobody
Nah,
from the
come
Knicks.
Sons of Trash.
I did see somebody
Yeah,
say Steph, but I'm not. I'm
Steph?
gonna say
Nah.
Steph,
I
nah.
don't think so.
They just lost to us, and we ass.
We ain't had Jimmy. Yeah, nah.
Y'all let
Oh, so you a
Quit-
Warriors fan?
Yeah,
Quentin Grimes dropped 50.
yeah. I
50.
I can't defend that. So I'm gonna just.
Man, wait, Quentin Grimes dropped 50?
He dropped
Yeah, he went
50
crazy.
on the Warriors
Wait, he was on the Mavs, right?
and the Knicks.
Dang, yo, Nico.
Yeah.
Nico got everybody out of there.
Man, Nico's he's bad.
Grimes dropped.
He's
50.
bad.
Was that Quentin Grimes, Jalen Brunson, Luka Doncic?
Somebody. Oh, I was gonna say Derek Jones, but
Derek.
that was the first thing.
I mean, he could dunk.
But yeah, I want to wrap this episode up. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. Shout out to all the guys for participating in the conversation.
Yes, sir.
We catch y'all in the next episode. Stay safe out there.
Peace.
Yeah.